All right. So you're welcome to another session here, and we're going. This is 16th week on this book. We're reading "Believe It" by Jamie Ken Lemer, and we're here in chapter 15. And the title, like we see on the screen, is "Believe in the Power of Letting Your Light Shine." Right, and that's just pretty much you know being a reflection of what is light, of what is good, of what people should desire for, of what success is like, of what victory is like, of what the better life is, right? And we all seem to miss that. It's easier to share things that are bad going on in our lives and to share about the victories. It seems like our fallen nature is more attuned to sharing misery, sharing things that are going bad than it is for us to share things that are going well, right? It's more like we feel almost guilty that things are going well with us. It's like everything around us in this life is more attuned, looking for people that are sorrowful, pitiful, and seem to be like we punish those that are succeeding. Someone is doing well, and we just think, oh, we must be something extra crazy. We must be stealing money. And that kind of makes it difficult for some people to rise above, right? Rise above the environment, rise above mediocrity. Prevents them from growing to the highest height that God has ordained for them to live. Just like that typical example we all give all the time about the 1 mile, race. People couldn't break the limit until someone purposefully, intentionally broke it. Then once it broke it, every other person could follow. You know, and that's just the way we human beings are made. We are attracted to what we see. If we can't see it, then it becomes an impossibility for us. Like Albert Einstein would favorably, popularly say, right? Knowledge is limited, imagination is limitless, right? You're limited by what you know, but then you can imagine a better world that can rise above your history, what has already been attained, to even begin to extend the boundaries of possibilities, right? And that only happens when we can engage our imagination, where we can see other people succeeding and we can imagine ourselves doing the same thing they've done and even better, right? And that's all I want to share today. Just talk about the importance of shining your light. There's this very popular quote here by Marina Williamson, made popular even by Nelson Mandela, just something Mandela quoted a lot as he came into prominence. And he says our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. No, that's not our deepest fear, right? Sometimes we think it's our deepest fear to think we're inadequate. That's really it's not, right? That's why we talk about people being fear of success. People are scared they will succeed because if they succeed, what would happen to them, right? That's a bigger fear than the fear of failure itself. The fear of if I succeed, what will happen? Will I lose friends? Will people like me, not like me? Will I be able to handle it, not handle it? And that seems to be sometimes a whole lot more time a bigger inhibited hindrance to people than even the fear of succeeding it or failure itself, right? And that's what Marilyn here writes for us. It says our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate, right? Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure, right? It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us, right? We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world, right? Problem is when we play small, then we're not helping people to rise above, either to establish limits, right? Because we all follow the light that we see, right? That's what we say. There's light at the end of the tunnel because we're limited by that which gives us hope, right? Without hope, there's no faith. Without faith, there's no pressing beyond either to establish boundaries. We need hope to have faith. We need faith to be able to act against what seemingly limits us today, to be able to extend the boundaries, either to establish boundaries, right? We need faith to be able to overcome. We need faith to press, to achieve the goals, the vision, the dream that we have for ourselves. And it helps a lot when we see someone else that has been there before that we can learn from. We can take motivation from, right? We can synthesize, as it were, what they've done and put ourselves in their place. And when we do that, we're giving command to our subconscious mind to go to action, to work on our behalf, right? Because never forget that word when we say that it's not about the size of a dog in a fight. It's about the fight in the dog that makes a difference. And the fight in the human beings is to what extent we have engaged our subconscious mind to action. Because our subconscious mind's engagement to action is the size of the fight in us. For as long as the subconscious mind is not being awoken to act on our behalf, to meet the need that we have, we truly have no fight in us. The amount of fight in a human being is the extent to which the subconscious mind is being engaged to walk in the direction or the pursuit that human being is engaging in. Right? To that extent is there a fight in that human being. To the extent to which the subconscious mind is not engaged is the extent to which there's no fight in that human being. And hence the extent to which that person cannot achieve that which is rising up or is endeavoring to do. Because the subconscious mind is our soldier, is our fighting force, right? Once you engage the subconscious mind, it goes out to work on your behalf to achieve that which you have intended to do, right? The subconscious mind is also our connection also to infinite wisdom, right? It's that place whereby we get wisdom, direction, a picture, the architecture of that which we want to do, right? So, and it makes a difference what we're seeing, because what we're seeing is the messaging that we give to the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind takes message or direction from us based on what we focus on with the appropriate emotions to go with it, right? If what you're focusing is just a passive thing, then the subconscious mind is not engaged. It has to be a focus with the right amount of emotion. There has to be an engaging, as it were, going into a trance to be able to capture the messaging right for the subconscious mind to go to work. And that's why it's important for us to shine our light. And the way most of us have grown, it's been in such a way that it negates what we need, right? To be for ourselves and for others. Right? Amy narrates how she kind of cringe to be able to talk about our success, because it's more like talking about our success. She feels like, oh, it will appear like she's being boastful, prideful, probably looking down on others. Only this morning I had to write one of my stories, talking about how I fought my way out of depression. And I was writing it, I pretty much just recognized that some people might misinterpret it as if I'm looking down on their status, and I had to make that clarification, right? I mean, I was able to fight my way out of it because of what I know, right? And everyone can fight, probably not at the same pace, not in the same way, because we all have different knowledge, different levels of engagements, right? And but it's not like in my Yoruba land dialect. We'll say, don't use another man's clock to walk. You got to know your clock. You got to work from where you are, right? Where you are is your feet on the ground, right? You can have your heart to the sky and you want to do miracles, you want to do everything, but you got to start from where you are, right? And that is our place. You got to recognize where you are and begin to take whether it's baby steps, but just make sure you're progressing. You're doing all that you can where you are. That's the only way forward. That's the way to work out miracles in your life, right? It's not about thinking about what someone else did. Well, you look at what someone else did as an encouragement, as a motivation, because if it's possible for them, then it's possible for you, right? But the way to get them might not necessarily be the same because you all are starting from different points, right? Well, you have to take cognizance of where you are, the resources available to you. You cannot be blindsided to that. You have to look at what is available to you, and with what is available to you, trace your step to where you want to go by doing all that you can every step of the way as you grow, right, to where you need to be, right? And you need to be mindful of some of the things we've grown up with, right? That probably seem to limitate us in shining our light, right? I mean, I grew up an introvert. I also grew up with parents who were probably more cautious about respect, all of that stuff. And in some ways, that kind of stands in the way of some of the things I need to do, and I do. I take the good, and some of the things that are standing limitation to me, I have to throw away, right? To be able to become all that I am today and all that I need to be tomorrow, right? Not everything that you're bringing from your past is necessarily going to work for you. You got to recognize the things that are working and the things that are not working, and know how to use the things that are working and throw away the things that might not be working for you. Because at the end of the day, it's about you making it in life. It's about you becoming a success. It's about you becoming the highest expression of all that God has created you to be. That's all that it's all about, right? And so, and and yeah, I mean, we just emphasize on the fact that most of the things that we do, we're doing for others also, right? As you succeed, there are people that are looking at you, that they're taking a key from your success and makes a difference in their own success, right? A picture that probably never leaves me and probably never leave me was when I was serving out in Halafia, right? Eben Mahafia, and well, I did serve there as a scripture union travel secretary and associate travel secretary. And I was about to eat that day, and I was wearing a cap. And there was a young lady there looking at me and trying to see what will he do, right? And I took off my cap and I prayed right before eating, and that made a lot of a difference to her, right? I mean, maybe today I wouldn't do it, but at that point in time, my belief then was the need to take off my cap, right, and pray. And it made a lot of difference, impact to her, which probably I believe never left her, probably not left her today, even as she's a mother today, having her own family. The fact that I wasn't taking God for granted, right? At that point in time, I stood by that which I believe, right? And just tells me that a lot of people watching me, a lot of people watching you, right? We all are leaders, no matter where we are, no matter where we find ourselves. There are people that are watching and are aligning their own lives based on what they see inside of you. So it's important for you to succeed, because if you success, a lot of people will succeed because you succeed, right? It's important that you do the right things. You don't take things for granted, because there are people watching you and they're tailoring their lives after you. And it's important also not just to succeed, but to be able to share it, right? It's easy to share failures, right? But that doesn't glorify God. That doesn't necessarily make you happy. right? When you share your success, that is a thing of praise. That's a thing of gratitude. That's the antidote to depression, right? So why don't we share more of our success, share more of what God is doing in our life, share more our wins, and produce more wins in life. We're not here for the losses. So why should we glorify the losses? Yeah, the losses are good. They're going to happen, right? We're going to learn from them, but our focus should not be on that, right? Don't forget, whatever you are focused on, you attract. So why should I focus on what I don't want to attract? I got to focus on the things I want to attract, right? So that puts more light on me sharing my wins, my success, right? My goals, my vision, my dreams, right? So that I can attract them. But it doesn't just work for me only. The more I talk about that, the more I'm shedding light for other people. I'm telling them what is possible. I'm telling them there's a better place out there. I'm helping them to keep them away from depression. As the way I'm shedding light on my part and the part of those that are looking up to me also, right? And all of this, but other, and just says that when you to let your light shine, the goal is to point people to the goodness and glory of God, right? As we shine our light, we ask God to continually show us how best to shine so we can become beacons of His life changing hope, right? To shine our light is just give hope to ourselves and give hope to other people also. Tell them the things that are possible, right? And there's no use being a billionaire if you cannot affect lives, right? We're here to be a blessing. We're here to impact our environment, make it a better place than we met it, right? Make a difference in the lives of people around us. All right, that's the reason why we're here. We're not here to succeed for the sake of succeeding, right? Like we typically would say, right? The essence of any organism, right, is outside of the organism, right? The essence of a human being is outside of the human being. While my success must reflect on my environment, right? It must make it a better place. Otherwise, I am not a success. The extent to which a person is a success or a failure is the difference he has made to others and to the world he met here. Right? Are you going to leave this world? Right? Your success is reflected in your environment. And I was just trying to put some things together. If you're going to shine your light, you got a plan to do it. Right? It's not just going to come of its own accord. You need to understand the importance of shining your light. Right? First of all, living a good life, succeeding at life. That means you have a dream, you have a vision, you have goals, you have targets, which you can share for. Talk about it because that's light. You're telling people the light that you see. And hopefully in that light, they can see their own light also. And as you succeed in doing it also, you can share that testimony, telling people that it is possible. It is possible, right? You're sharing it is possible. And by that, people can be drawn to things that are possible, right? And we need to be intentional about it. And it all goes with gratitude, right? Because if I share by sharing my success is as good as me being grateful for it. I mean, what's the use of not of saying I'm grateful for something I can't share, right? When I share what God is doing in my life, I'm saying, God, I'm grateful and I want more, right? And I'm telling people it's possible also that they can see God in that life. They can believe for the same things in their life, right? You can live a better life. That's the whole idea about it. All right, I'm going to